Hi, it's Katrina and today I'm talking about Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. This is one of the first book reviews I've done in a long time, and the thing about book reviews is, and this is true of every single channel on BookTube, they are the least viewed videos. I get that. I don't watch that many book reviews as well unless I'm directly interested in the book already, and that's the reason for it. What I really want to do with my channel, I'd actually like to make content, I want to contribute to discussions, and I want to be able to look back on reviews of my books and remember what I really thought of them and write in the time of as I was reading it / when I just finished it. So this year, even though I'll probably not get that many reviews on most of my book reviews, I'm going to do them, and I want to review most, if not all, of the books I read in 2017 here on my channel. So the first book I read in 2017 was Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. This was first published in 1998. Mine is a Harper Voyager edition, which is the new republished UK edition, and it is 880 pages long. I'm just going to put it here so I'm not like holding it awkwardly the whole way through the review. So my quick non-spoilery thoughts are, I love this so much. I read it really quickly for how long it is. I was quite antisocial on my holiday with my friends recently because I just sat and read this book because I had to know what was going to happen next. This is multiple third-person POV, which is my favourite way to have fantasy. The main setting of this book is a town called Bingtown. This is a trader town, and the old money, wealthy families of the town are called the Old Traders, and a lot of them own something called a live ship. This is a type of ship which is made of wizard wood, which we don't actually know the origin of wizard wood. I think that's something that's going to be explored throughout the series. It's hinted that there's something magical about it and maybe something slightly unsavoury. These ships are able to access waters that others aren't. They become alive. You can talk to the ship through the masthead. They're much more easy to sail, and generally the families become much more wealthy once the ship has come alive, which happens after three successive generations of the one family. So the family that own the boat have died on their decks. We have a number of main characters. We have a pirate called Kenneth he's very power hungry and he's going on this journey. He wants to become king of the pirates and just become the most powerful, and he doesn't really stop at anything to get that. We have Althea, who she was raised to believe she would take over the live ship, her family's live ship, but at the last minute it's taken from her. Her whole world falls apart and then she's trying to find herself and prove herself. Wintro, who is Althea's nephew, he's raised to be a priest. He's extremely peaceful and he has a lot of catechism sort of in his mind, and whenever he comes across something he thinks about it in very one way, and it's very different from his family. He's forced into becoming a sailor. He struggles with accepting his lot in life and his place in the world. We have the live ship herself, Vivacia, who she's just sort of come to life and she has all the memories of the family that's come before her, and she's struggling with the way things have come through too. And then we have the rest of the Vestrip family back in Bingtown. This is one of the most interesting plot lines to me. They're struggling to keep the family afloat. I've said the word struggle quite a lot. This isn't actually a depressing book. It's very interesting, but there's a lot of conflict going on. And one of the main conflicts in the novel is the three women that are left at home: a mother, a daughter, and a granddaughter. The granddaughter is she's fighting to try and become a woman, and her mother and grandmother don't think that she's ready yet, and she becomes quite sly. Also, the mother and grandmother are trying to keep the family finances afloat. Really, I love this book so much. There's so many amazing characters. Robin Hobb just writes the best characters. You love them, you hate them, you love and hate the same characters. They feel like real people making real decisions. The writing is so descriptive. You're just so, I had to Google a couple of boat terms, I don't know what a forecastle is, but now I know. But once I Googled a couple of things and I, sort of knew what the situation was aboard the boat, I was there. I knew what was going on, all the different ports they go to and the different characters. This was just a great time. It was just a great time. A quick note on where I think this should fall in your reading of Robin Hobb. This is the first book in a trilogy. It does technically follow on from the Farseer trilogy, which is the first trilogy set in this world by Robin Hobb. However, I think that it barely spoils anything for the series. I think there's a couple of things that are mentioned in passing which you literally would not pick up on if you hadn't already read the Farseer trilogy. And I think, judging from this first book, but I've heard that the other books in the series are just as good, It is a better trilogy than the Farseer trilogy. This is where I recommend for you to start with Robin Hobb. If you're not really a fancy person, if you couldn't get through the Lord of the Rings, you can't get through just long, chunky, kind of boring sections, which there are plenty of in the Farseer trilogy, just read Ship of Magic. You can go back once you've already fallen in love with the world and Robin Hobb's writing and read the Farseer trilogy. Then Ship of Magic, the Live Ship Traders trilogy, is much more exciting, it's more fast paced, it's better edited, the characters are better, it is a better series. Read that one first. One thing I loved about Ship of Magic, which was definitely lacking in the Farseer trilogy, is the complexity of the female characters. Farseer trilogy, basically all the women we came across are definitely like, this book would not pass like a Bechdel test. You know, they all, like, for whatever reason, like throw themselves at Fitz, or they're quite caricatured. I hated Starling. You know, there's a lot of like annoying things, a lot of annoying women. And obviously we're really seeing them through Fitz's lens, but they're really not well drawn. I mean, the only interesting players in the world are the men. However, in Ship of Magic, I feel like most of our main characters, the majority of them are women, and they're all influential, complex characters with complex interactions with one another, which are not only about men. It's just a better trilogy. It's just better. It's just great. Okay, so into the spoilery discussion section of the video. So if you don't want to be spoiled, just click away. There were so many dramatic moments in this book. Okay, when Gantry died, I gasped aloud, because everything was just going along fine, and you know, Wintrow was just trying to be nice to the slaves and whatever, blah blah blah, and then Gantry just straight up dies and all hell breaks loose. That was the most dramatic part of this whole novel for me, which, I mean, it was the climax, so duh, but oh, and I liked Gantry. He was one of the nice people, like one of the only nice people in this bloody book, and they went and killed him, which is just classic Robin Hobb, isn't it? I loved that whole sequence, the way that Robin Hobb can just switch things around on you. Like, you're all going fine and then suddenly, bang, slave riot, ship's gonna go down, Kennet's on the horizon. Oh my god, all in a second. I love that. I love that so much. I hate Malta, but I love her as a character, okay? She's so sly, and she's just like, she really seems like a real girl, you know what I mean? Like, I know people like that. I just think that Robin Hobb has written the, like, sneaky teenage girl so well. What the hell has she got herself into with the Rainwilders? I'm excited for her to have her comeuppance. When they were at the Traders Council and she kept bitching and wanting to get out, I could have slapped her, but then she got the box, the dream box, and she opened it, and in that moment I was like, oh Malta, what are you doing? I didn't think that she was going to do it. I genuinely thought that she might see sense, but this is going to be an exciting turn of events. When I was first reading, like at the start of the book, I thought that was kind of one of the more boring points of view. I wasn't that interested, but when we were talking about Ronica and Keffria and Malta, I was a bit like, okay, let's get back to the boats. But Malta's storyline is one of the ones I'm most interested for in Mad Ship. Like, I can't wait for that. When Wintrow was getting the slave tattoo, my heart broke, because see, it's the same, this is what's so great, is that he's such a flawed character, because he's not, like, I don't love him. He's not, I mean, I think he's a really good character, but I'm not like, he's so perfect, because he's annoying, and I get why other sailors don't like him. Everything is so great in these books. It's not black and white, and I love that. But when he was getting tattooed, and Torg had just not told Kyle, and I was just so, you're so there in his brain when he's just like, how is this happening to me? What has happened? I've made so many mistakes. How do I get out of this? I can't believe that it's just, he's just stuck here. Oh, that really got me. Another part that just really like got me in the feels was when Althea was struggling on the Reaper. It was just all coming around her, and she was just realizing, like, you know what? I'm actually not a great sailor. And that's a realization you're having as a reader too, because when the ship gets taken away from her, you know, when Keffria grabs onto the peg right at the start, you're so surprised, and you're like, Althea should clearly have the ship. She's clearly a great sailor, blah, blah. And then as it's all coming around in Reaper, you're like, oh my god, it's the same realization where, like, she did not have a good grasp on the situation, and she's starting to realize that Kyle, who she hates so much and we hate so much, and is just like, oh my god, I hate Kyle, was actually right about some of these things. Oh, I hate Kyle. Kyle It's just like, he's just the patriarchy, isn't he? Kyle. There's so many interesting political things going on here, with the satrap and with the new traders, and what's the moral questions that are coming up with to slave or not to slave. I mean, obviously to not slave, but like, I'm interested in the way the morals are actually playing out in our characters' minds. And you know, the Vestrits, even though they're anti-slavery, actually have a slave in their own house, and they don't really even know how she got there, and they can't give her away or get rid of her because she'll just have these horrible treatments. But they can't buy a slave and free her because that would be encouraging and giving a seal of approval to the buying and selling of human beings. That was really, and that was, the more they talk about, you know, the Rainwell traders and how they're all like disfigured, and how occasionally they actually have children that come out and they're like bestial. I don't know, like, we need to know more about that, and I know that we do know more about that in the Rainbow Chronicles, which is, I don't think the next series after this, but it's the one after that, and it's 4 books. I listened to the first book of it actually on audiobook, and it has spoiled some of the things in this for me, but I've forgotten most of it, so the finer details I'm fine with, and I do know a little bit more about these things, but I'm excited to get back to that knowing what I already do know. So thank you for watching my review / just straight up just like splurge of my thoughts on Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. Can you tell that I really like this book? I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I already have Mad Ship, and that is the next book I'm reading after the one I'm reading right now. I had a lot of fun filming this review. I hope that if you've read the book, you enjoyed it as well. And I know that a lot of people who know me in real life watch these videos and aren't really readers, so enjoy being terrified by how much I cared about this book. Now do you see why I love reading so much? I'm excited to review more books in 2017. I'm really passionate about them, can you tell? And trying to capture that, put that out in the world, and be able to look back on it in the future I can't wait for it. So yeah. Please subscribe to see more videos from me. My next video is 25 bookish facts about me, and then after that I'm going to be reviewing Anna Karenina, which I'm reading right now. You can also follow me on Goodreads and Instagram and Twitter, all of which are linked below. Thanks for watching. Bye!